Hey guys, welcome back to Sandy Cats. Today I want to talk about stoves, specifically overlanding stoves. Just a quick little discussion. I've been, in the backpacking, mountaineering, search and rescue, outdoor stuff space most of my life. But overlanding is fairly new to me. When I say fairly new, maybe like 4 or 5 years only. And when I got into overlanding, initially I was just using my backpacking stuff, and when we were off-roading, 10 plus years, we were using our backpacking stuff. It was simple. But like hardcore overlanding, when you're gone for a week plus, especially with family, it's very different. So right now, I just did a 2-week trip, took a couple weeks off, and then a 3.5-week trip. Me, my wife, 2-year-old, 4-year-old. 2 rigs, but it's still a lot of stuff to take, make them do homework on the trail, bring their RC trucks and so on. So overlanding gear for me is gear that is super easy to use. Also makes you feel like you're home, because when you're out there for a weekend, 3 days, it's fun to use some cool stove or whatever. But if you're doing it day in and day out for 2+ weeks, you really want the comforts, the conveniences from home to not get burned out. So that was important to me, in a stove, and something that's compact. And I spent a lot of time online doing research, seeing what other overlanders recommend and whatever. And I found a lot of stoves, and most of the stoves were pretty similar as far as their design. They were all like this. This was like the most recommended one. It's made by Partner Steel. It's called the Cook Partner, and it seems like a lot of overlanders, this is their go-to for some reason. There's some wind guards here too. That's nice. Not even gonna bother with that. And the other ones I recommended are like similar design, but different companies, from Walmart to REI stuff to whatever. Anything between like $100 to $200 range, and it's good to go. And I gotta 100% disagree. I spent hundreds of dollars chasing the perfect stove. Probably close to $1,000 at this point. And this is the one that I just ended up saying, screw it, I'm gonna get it, even though it's expensive, because this is what everybody recommends. And I got it, we used it a couple of times, and we hated it. And the reason why we hated it is one simple reason, like the biggest reason. Everything else we can deal with, whatever, is because the flame has no adjustment. Grab my lighter. The flame has no adjustment. If I turn it on, there we go. If I turn it on, it's on super high heat. And if I want to adjust it, it barely adjusts. Like, it's so hard to, like, it does adjust, don't get me wrong. But like, when you're cooking and you're like, hey, I gotta put it on a simmer, it never happens, because the knob is like 1/10 of a turn goes from max heat, like I'm on max heat right now, 1/10 of a turn goes all the way to off. And then I gotta move my stove, light it again, and so on. It doesn't work, for me at least. And this was a deal killer, honestly. Plus, the other things, it's a little bit, for me it's cumbersome to wash, and it's kind of big and bulky, but whatever. But the big deal killer was that. Forget about having no igniter. Also sucks. So in the off-road, in the backpack community, we mostly use little things like this. And this is what I've been using for years, and I love it. I love my MSR. MSR I find to be the best for backpacking stuff. I bring it here too now to boil water, and I bring a second one because 2- and 4-year-olds, so we heat up milk for them in this one specifically, because it kind of burns the cup a little. So we separate that. But our go-to has become, I can get it out, is the Jetboil. And I didn't want to get a Jetboil. First of all, it's expensive. I forgot how much it is. But second of all, I figured Jetboil is a backpacking company, so it's probably not going to be the best for overlanding and the abuse of overlanding and so on. And I didn't get it for a while, and then when I got it, I'm like, I can't believe I lived without this. So there's pros and cons, not everything's perfect. These handles are kind of falling off. I could probably easily fix them. I really don't care to. look how small it is. It's so compact and it fits into their pot. So the con is basically the handles are falling off. I don't know what other cons there are. It's a little dirty because it was my turn to wash. So I didn't wash. But there's two. There's an output and there's an input. So you want to make sure you're putting your connection into the input. Right here. Because technically, I don't know why you would even care to do that, but you can link like 6 of these systems together or whatever, from output to input, output to input. So you can, you know, I don't know, cook at a wedding for 50 people. Don't know why you would want to do that, but you know, it's on you. That's it. So what's nice about this, what I don't like is the output's in the wrong place. Because every time I do this, I keep remembering, oh, I gotta flip it over. Maybe because of where I put my table. But what I do like about this is, A, there's an adjuster that I turn on, and then there's an igniter, so it's on. B is the degrees of, to make it from hot to cold. Like right now I'm high to low. I'm on full high right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full turns and the flame is still on. So it's so easy to adjust this thing. And you know, that's what makes me love this, because you know, when I got a lot of stuff on here, I don't want to be picking things off to relight the flame or whatever. That comes with their pot, which kind of sucks. We burned it already a little bit. It comes with their pan, which we don't even have because after 3 or 4 times we burned it. My wife went to Amazon, she bought this GSI Outdoors pan and she loves it to death. There's a handle too. Works great, super easy to clean. It comes with this top that had an orange piece that's permanently gone. That goes over here, and it kind of sucks too because as you can see, it's already melting. So eventually we're gonna have to replace that. We'll deal with it for now. So the cookware is not great. The simplicity of packing it is great, but I'll pack a big one if I have to. However, the ability to adjust the flame is really the most valuable thing. So Jetboil did it right. This is what I definitely recommend over anything else. And I'm gonna be selling my cook partner on Facebook Marketplace soon. That's pretty much it for this quick little video. All right, the next thing I want to discuss is me. I was trying to do YouTube, and I was trying to run 3 businesses, and I was trying to raise a 2 and 4-year-old and do a couple of really cool build outs, and it was just overwhelming. It got too much. So at some point about 6-8 months ago, I had to dial it back. I got off YouTube, didn't really worry too much about my social media, and focused more on the businesses and the build. I really wanted to get this build done, and I was working really hard, and also focused on my kids. And finished the build about, I don't know, 3 months ago at this point, or you know, pretty close to done. I'll be done in maybe another 2-3 months, but I'm pretty happy where I'm at. And then I needed a break, so we took a 2.5-week overlanding trip, did the Redwoods in Oregon, came back home for a couple of weeks, then we did about 3.5 weeks overall, including 2 weeks on the Idaho BDR, from all the way from basically Utah to Canada. We did the whole thing. Even had time to visit Glacier National Park, middle of the trip. Came back home, relaxed a little, and now I'm gonna focus more on YouTube, and I'm back. That's kind of what I'm saying. This video is going to be gear reviews, vehicles, anything I want it to be, but give me all the ideas you have. I mean, I'm a gear junkie. I'm into vehicles. I'm into fabricating, as you guys can see. I'm, you know, played with kinetic ropes and now we sell them. Made a DIY video on showers. Now we're selling them. Doing that on rooftop tents soon too. Give me ideas. I'm open to do whatever, but I'm gonna focus much more on, you know, the audience that I ended up somehow magically, don't know why, building up. So thank you. See you guys soon. Oh yeah, and one more quick thing. I know this rig looks, maybe doesn't look that sick from this angle, because it looks more like a pig, but it's on 37s, Dana 60, a ton of modifications and it really does look sick. Have some photos on Instagram. But eventually I'm gonna get to videos of, you know, the build progress of this rig and do a full walk around, I promise.